thought our guys played with a lot of guts and heart tonight. We got down early in both halves. We got down early, clawed our way back in before halftime, and then they jumped on us early in the second half, clawed our way back in. Everybody on the bench was like, hey, we're going to get this game, we're going to get this game. And unfortunately, we just gave up a couple clutch buckets. Give those guys credit. Mike Smith's been in this league, it seems like forever, as long as we've been in the league, I know that. And they made some clutch baskets, and unfortunately, they came away with it.
You mentioned it after the game. The opening 5 minutes of each half were crucial. They jumped out to big leads, and you fought back. And the one in the second half was just a little too much. How do you fix that?
It's interesting. I always say this is a game of runs in terms of it just depends when your runs come. And last few ball games seems like we're alternating. There's no slow starts for either team. One team jumps out early, and then the other team fights their way back in. And certainly we'd like to be the team that's jumping out to the quick start. But I don't know if there's an easy fix to that. I don't think it's an issue. Our guys don't come enough energy or anything like that. I think it's just an issue of making baskets early. And I think we got enough low post touches early, so that's probably the biggest thing we want to improve upon is get more touches for Anthony early. Sort of the same thing we talk about at the end of the game. We want to make sure he touches the ball late in the game.
That being said, you did outscore them in the last 15 minutes by 6 or 8 points, and you got some good production out of Anthony Banks, who's held scoreless in the first half, and Kevin Cantnall has been showing flashes over the last 2 weeks of finally getting loosened up from that hiatus. Talk about what those guys are starting to bring.
It says something. Our bigs outscored them in the paint by 6 points for the ball game, and that's a very good low post team. Smith, Brown, those guys do a really good job. Williams do a good job playing at the basket. So to outscore them in the paint, I thought was certainly a positive. As you mentioned, the fight back was a positive. But if we can continue to help Kevin progress, and if Anthony can continue to get better and better against the post double, and I thought he was better tonight. He's got a ways to go, but he was better tonight. And just continue to improve each day, so, like I think we've done. But hopefully the results will show that.
A player that's quickly progressing is Christoph Verdo, who's for the 9th straight game reached double figures and has led you in scoring 6 of the last 8 games. Talk about his development and just the way he's been shooting the ball. He's almost at a 40% clip for the year.
Yeah, he's shooting the ball tremendously hard, for sure. I thought the first half our guys did a great job finding him off screens. You can see at the halftime East Tennessee's rule was they were not going to leave him for anything and make other guys beat you from the arc. And I thought our guys still worked to find him. I thought he forced a few in the second half because he was having trouble getting open. It wasn't for lack of work, and it wasn't for lack of guys trying to screen for him. He's really made big strides this season, his freshman year, and I think we have big things to come from Christoph.
The last 3 games, 2 games in Nashville, and now this game, you've played 3 of the top 4 teams in the league, and the games the second time around have been much closer, and tonight was proof of battling back. How do you carry that momentum, and what's your message in a quick turnaround Sunday at 1 against Upstate?
My message in the locker room, I said I felt that, I think I spoke for everybody when I said, there's no doubt that we've worked hard, gotten better, made major improvements, show a lot of heart, a lot of hustle, a lot of guts to fight back in things, but not one person in the locker room's happy because we want to come away with a W, and so is everybody in the building. And so I think that's kind of continues to be the motivator and pusher to say, hey, we're still not quite where we need to be, a little bit better. And regardless of who you play, you expect to come out on top. And regardless of who you play, you got to expect that they're going to give your best effort.